One presidential candidate has revived a slogan from the era of a great communicator, Ronald Reagan, exhorting us all to make America great again. And perhaps it is not just mere coincidence that just before the official campaign ramp-up began with Labor Day, that he found himself in a church where he announced, "I feel better already." Because in the founding days of this country, John Adams observed, "Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people." So if we are to be a great nation again, we must first be a moral one. And in an increasingly diverse world, it is also perhaps no coincidence that that presidential contender found himself in an ethnic church where, like their predominantly Protestant affiliation, they tend to be more observant, especially in the former states of the Confederacy and the Bible Belt states, according to a recent Gallup poll. While some liberal publications leveled some criticism at this campaign initiative, and even though it drew some protest from some ethnic leaders, in accordance with conventional wisdom that dictates that ethnic people will not vote for a Republican and that party is no longer the party of Lincoln and emancipation, the fact is that by virtue of a religious practice and faith discipline, Americans of ethnicity and color, regardless of religion, tend to be very conservative, even on social issues. The overwhelming majority of persons in our pews of assembly are women, who are increasingly taking on more roles of responsibility and leadership. No Spanish-speaking country, with the exception of a portion of Mexico in the capital city, have legalized abortion, and their populations are by a clear majority joined in fellowship in one holy Roman Catholic Church. In recent sermons throughout this congressional district, in predominantly black churches, pastors have preached sermons on the importance of devotion for a moral life, self-reliance over dependency, actions in moral indignation, and most notably in this election year, about Delilah's betrayal of Samson, made possible only because he was fixated on his feelings and not focused on the facts. Unlike the adherents of one ideology, conservatives generally do not boo God, nor remove his reference from every secular institution, including the military, where our sons and daughters serve this nation selflessly at great risk of family separation, personal harm, and loss of life. Unlike the adherents of one ideology, the first instinct of conservatives is to protect their children and not make them wards of the state, nor dismiss their humanity on the basis of their size, level of development, environment, or dependency. Unlike the adherents of one ideology, conservatives generally extol liberty and the wisdom of the founding fathers in their construction of a government framework designed to promote those liberties and extend its blessings. But friends of Don Beyer want us to keep our old-time religion out of government, and activists like Gail Gordon Donegan have decried even a discussion about the word sacred at the Alexandria City Council meeting. Friends of Charles Hernick, like Matt Wavro, publicly proclaim that we are not a church, while his internet troll pseudonym, Duffy Taylor, has criticized a fantasy Jesus. And from both sides, one candidate who has publicly proclaimed that I am not ashamed of the gospel on countless occasions, like the Apostle Paul once said, and which his pastor father often repeated, has been told by friends of Don Beyer to go back to Jersey, and by friends of Charles Hernick to just go away. Yet, in the books of the Old Testament, from the faith of my great-grandfather, there was a prophet named Nehemiah, beset with the task of rebuilding the wall that protected his city from invasion and peril, while he was taunted by persons who wished to discourage that work. And he sent them a message back saying, I'm doing a great work. I can't come down. I am the great-grandson of an emancipated slave, the grandson of a preacher shot for his exercise of the franchise, and the son of a Baptist pastor whose ecumenical ministry found a Jesuit priest often sharing our pulpit was a dear friend of the late Bishop Fulton Sheen. And I have not let my feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. I am a born-again Christian, and I am not ashamed of the gospel. And I am a soldier who is not going to let nothing turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. And if you are lost and weary, discouraged and disappointed, looking for a rock of ages or shelter in a time of storm, perhaps you should give faith a try too. Let's make Americans great again. I am Mike Webb, and I am running for U.S. Congress.